Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation. Do we have a special show for you tonight? Plus a Q&A session, plus a very short guided group meditation on unity consciousness as well. If you're new to the show, and I know that we have a lot of new people here after Dr. Stephen Greer's fascinating interview this past week, I want to tell you just the tiniest little bit about ourselves. We are about 2,000 interviews in, about 3,000 total shows in. Our job is to bring everybody together as one, to raise everyone up, to go past mass media and fear and gloom and doom, to get to the truth, to help raise you up, and to help you discover your greatness, your path, and your mission here on Earth. It's a very small mission. You can come along for the journey. I do say that a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but we are here to help you, and we are here to help everyone here. In fact, we try to run a donation when we can for the show tonight. You may need to hit the refresh button. It's been a donation for Libyan rescue efforts. We have switched that or upgraded that or side-graded that for the Red Cross International tonight, because there are more disasters going on around the world today, or so it seems, and it's actually part of the channeled message tonight, than ever. And so we want to do our part and encourage you to do your part as well to help. So our mission, and the reason we would have somebody like a Stephen Greer on, and the reason that I do a lot of channel teachings on the show and have everyone in between on, is about helping us to wake up at the highest level, to be able to see what's going on, to be able to sense what's going on, to be able to wake up to a greater and actually a more beautiful reality. So when I do YouTube live events like this, and also when I do classes, what I do is I could make $1 million if I simply went like that. But what I do is I go quiet. I go into a process called automatic writing, and I channel from the angels and guides what the talk or what the teaching's going to be. And that's very interesting for tonight, because I am like in week 3 right now of coming in and out of something that certainly could be COVID or something else. And I went down again earlier this evening. And so I'm going to try to keep this a little bit on the short side tonight. However, it was a big channeling that I got. Speaking of big channeling, and then let's dive into things. Paul Selig is my all-time favorite medium, guide, channel, author, bar none. If you haven't heard Paul Selig, you absolutely must. And we have him back on the show this Thursday. And wow, what a powerful show, because he's on Maui. And so we talked about the guides and Maui and what's going on and why there are all of these disasters taking place right now and what it means for you. It's also what we're going to be talking about from a very different perspective here tonight. So let's dive into this. Typically, our shows are about diving in on the inside, getting in alignment with frequency, with spirit, with God, with universe, with consciousness, whatever we want to call it, and then discovering our greatness through that frequency. And so we can call ourselves alchemists, we can call ourselves mystics, we can call ourselves a resonant frequency of greatness. Resonant frequency of greatness. That's what you truly are. However, one of the things that I talked about last week, and I want to bring up here again tonight, is the number 222. And I was looking at our mailing list earlier tonight, and it had it had all these twos in it, which we consider random or coincidence, or we can go, oh, there's a reason for that. You see, you and I were living what's called the two-step dance. The two-step dance is about the frequency we resonate with. This means to get an alignment on the inside and what we get to do out here. That's where we take things to a whole new level. That's why the title of this has to do with the 11th hour and has to do with time running out, because there was another period where we could go, oh, and just sit in the cave and by changing our frequency, it changed the frequency of the world all around us. However, now we're called to go beyond just the Om to actually go into a state of taking action. And this has everything to do with, and I'm a geek, I'm dorky, it has everything to do with time. Humanity, you and I perhaps, don't understand time, don't understand the nature of time. We don't understand compounding very well. And if we did, well, we've made a ton of money and we might not even be watching this because we've got so much money, we're just kicking back like Mr. Moneybags or something. But we don't understand how compounding works. Why? There's no time in heaven. We can call it heaven, we can call it source, we can call it spirit, we can call whatever this place is that we're actually a part of, but we have amnesia, so we can't see behind the veil at the moment. But behind the veil, time doesn't exist. Scientists see it, they know it, they don't know exactly what to do about it, but time ain't real. It's a human construct to help us here in Earth School. Now, those that understand it, they do incredibly well. They do incredibly well financially. They do incredibly well with power and, fortunately or unfortunately, learning how to control what we'll call the masses. In other words, control all of us because they understand time differently. If we don't fully understand compounding, it understands and controls us. Those that get it control those who do not. If you didn't grow up reading something like A Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or something that explained compounding, and that doesn't even explain the nature of time, or reading Dr. Amit Goswami, for instance, if you don't understand the nature of time, then it rules you. Here's one of my favorite and challenging adages. And that adage is, we vastly overestimate what we believe we can get done in a day. That's why we kick our own butts at night. We vastly overestimate what we can get done in a day. And we radically underestimate what we can get done in a lifetime. We vastly overestimate what we can get done in a day. We can get all of this done. And we radically underestimate what we can do in a lifetime. Well, I can only do this because I'm only human, or I'm only one person, or I'm only. Frankly, guys, it's bullshit. You ain't only, you are mega powerful. It's why movements too are so powerful, because one person builds on another person, builds on another person, builds on another person, builds on one tiny activity, builds on a little bigger activity, builds on a little bit bigger activity, and a movement overcomes the inertia of time, overcomes the power, the compounding power of the powers that be. A movement is unstoppable. You and I, we are change maker, change agents of change, change makers, change agents of a new time, a new era for all of humanity, for everything and everyone on earth. You can say this is the movement of earthlings? Sure, I'll say it. This is a movement of earthlings, meaning spiritual beings, energetic beings, having an energetic experience in human form, in rooster form, in dog form, in cat form, in ET form, in whatever. We are having a movement right now to take back control of our power, take back control of our lives, take back control of this planet for our highest good and the highest good of all, or something even better. It's crazy. There's a UN summit on climate change right now, and you can believe whatever you want, and I love you no matter what you believe, but climate ain't political. It's warming up out there. Things are getting wonky out there. They're getting weird. They're getting wild. They're getting crazy. And the US won't even go to the summit. I'm not saying this from a place of politics. I'm saying it from a place of the new movement is us all coming together as one. Period. Done deal. End of story. I don't care what you believe. I don't care who you believe in. I don't care what color you are, what creed you are, what sex you are, what anything you are. We're one. We are one. However, companies, governments that understand time better than us try to rip us apart, pit one against the other, give us misinformation so that we can't come together on anything. And misinformation is a drip faucet of time. all of this is a measure of control based on time. You see, if I tell you something crazy and I tell it to you once, you don't believe it. I don't know what would be a good crazy thing. Well, somebody just mentioned cats on here. Cats eat human beings. Cats, not tigers. House cats eat people. The first time you heard that, you think it's absolutely completely ridiculous. House cats eat people. And then you hear it again. House cats eat people. And you still think it's ridiculous. But then another day goes by and you hear house cats eat people. And then another day goes by and you probably saw something on TikTok with something fabricated where a cat ate a person or there's something of a person left. And it keeps adding and compounding and compounding and compounding and compounding until weeks or months go by and you now know that cats eat people. You're being messed with by your sense of time. So, in the oh my gosh, everybody, I want to say, oh my gosh, this is totally unplanned. She's supposed to be in bed. I spoke with Mama Bear about it, who said there is absolutely no way that she's doing a cameo or a cat meal. And here we have, do you want to stand? No, you don't want to stand. You want to sit. I need a pillow. I need a pillow. I need a pillow. She gets to sit. Here, can you put the pillow underneath? Just throw the pillow underneath me. Da, 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 da. This is someone, who will understand the concept of time. She's being taught about time from day number 1. That's going to liberate her. That's going to liberate us. That's going to liberate everyone. Because when the new generation, that's you, that's me, that's certainly Hannah Bear, understands the nature of time, we can shift anything. Climate's at stake. The earth is at stake. Countries are at stake. Democracy at stake. Children's rights are at stake, let alone their freedom. There is so much going on, and it all comes down to the same thing. And it's not about sides. It's about this. Bing, 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 bing. Oh, look at that smile. Bing, 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 bing. It's about love. It's about, oh, you did it too. Ding, 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 ding. Can you do that again? Dada. She just said dada as she's tapping her chest. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, it is about understanding. Yeah, understanding the power that comes from the heart. Understand the power of doing something over and over and over again and stepping into our power. One planet, one ball, one globe. There ain't no sides. You can't find a side on planet Earth if you wanted to. How are you going to say this is one side of the ball? Yeah. Yeah. You want to be able to hear everyone, huh? Well, they're in the chat room over here, but they're not actually speaking at the moment. We get to set that up. There is a way to set that up where everybody can speak to each other. Yeah, but so you can see them in the chat right here. So we have Frank speaking. Oh, her name is Hannah. Thank you for asking. She also goes specifically by Hannah Bear. She is 16 months of age. It is well past her bedtime, and I am going to get in big trouble for this. She has grabbed my prayer stone, and she is playing with it accordingly. I know. And she is our greatest teacher. The new gen is. Did you just kiss the prayer stone? Did you kiss the prayer stone? I think I just saw you kiss the prayer stone. We went into a store yesterday to get Jessica some clothes. And Hannah Bear went over to the stuffed animal bin. And she wanted me to take, yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh. She wanted me to take every stuffed animal out of the bin so that she could kiss every single one of them. She doesn't understand separation. She doesn't understand that there's you and there's me, and that one is against the other. All she sees is oneness, and all she sees is love. Oneness, exactly. Oneness, you said it. She gets it. She gets it. That's the highest level game that we get to play. And I can't see my notes right now. I can't even see the computer right now. Is that fun? You've never looked through my glasses before. Do you mind if I have those back so Daddy can see what Daddy's doing? Yeah, is that all right? Thank you. Oh, you just said thank you too. All right, let's see if I can bring it back. This is really the big picture message, but let's see if I can play with this message. When I say time is running out, I don't mean that there's not going to be a tomorrow for Hannah Bear, although it could certainly be a challenging one. Are you good? Are you ready to go to bed? Oh, she's ready. All right. Good night. I love you. Mwah. You want to say mwah? Oh, okay. Thank you. I love you so much. Here we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. When I say time is running out, I'm not saying that there's not going to be a future for our kids. I'm not saying that the earth is about to blow up. Although certainly if you watch Dr. Stephen Greer's show, and I definitely encourage you to take action, we've got some big issues to work on right now. But what I am talking about is that the powers that be understand the concept of time. And if we don't start understanding the concept of time, baby fingerprints, ourselves, we lose our power. We lose our democracy. There is so much of a grasp for autocracy today or authoritarianism. We lose our health. We lose our clean air. We lose everything. And it's going to take a while to get it back. And certainly we're talking about, was it the Anthropocene? We're going into the sixth great mass extinction. We lose the animals. We lose stability. But it doesn't have to be that way. I'm a love and light guy. We can start understanding the concept of time now and understanding that we get to act now. 222, mentioned at the beginning. Why did 222 come up? Because 222 means we get to discern. We get to make the big decisions. Do I go left or do I go right? We get to discern. And it means that hand in hand, together as one, together as one, we get to step forward and act and make a positive stand. See, we came here, you came here, I came here, Hannah Bear certainly came here. We didn't come here by accident. We didn't come here because we were on the other side of the veil going, wonder where I'm going to go next. Give me a map. I'll go there. No, that's not how it worked. You have ETs. You've got people like us, spirit like us, that are shown up in all these different forms on the other side of the veil going, where do I want to go? Well, according to Earth time, it's 2023. That's where the party's at, is on Earth right now. Get me to the Earth. Get me to the church on time. Get me to the Earth on time. Why? They're going through a powerful transformation that's going to ripple throughout the entire galaxy, going to ripple throughout the entire universe, going to ripple throughout the entire universes. That's where the party's at. That's where I want to be. That's why you chose to be here right now, to be here right now. It's why I did. It's why Hannah Bear did. It's why all of us did. It's why our kitties did. Our roosters did. Our dogs did. To be here right now for this party. And this is actually, as horrific as it seems, it's a magnificent time. And I do not make light of anything, certainly. And I won't even start to get started on all the lives that have been lost in the last week alone. However, it's just dumbfounding. It's part of the crumbling away. And that's why you want to catch Thursday's show with Paul Selling. It's part of this crumbling away of the old that's taking place individually and collectively. I know you, even though we've never met. I know things are crumbling in your lives. I know that things feel unstable. I know that there's more fear and anxiety. I know that it feels like you can't trust that anything is still going to be here tomorrow, let alone trust the news or who knows or what knows ever. It seems like everything is crumbling right now because it is. But it's actually crumbling right now so that things can be rebuilt on a higher level. However, It's if we act now. That is such a key consideration. So, for instance, we had on Dr. Stephen Greer this past week. Love him, love him, love him on UFOs, UAPs, what's going on with Congress. He's a perfect example. We let companies and we let the government get out of control over time. They recognized the value of time. And so they kept things secret and they built upon it and kept things secret and they built upon it and kept things secret and built upon it and kept things secret and built upon it while they're telling us that nothing's going on. And we were believing them and they took advantage of time. And that's what's led to UAPs. That's what's led to black box efforts, shadow government. All of these things is because they understood time. And it's what's led to what's called a lost century. It's really the last century. It's the lost century, a time where time stood still. However, I look at baby Hannah, who's now gone off to bed, and it doesn't have to be this way. So I'm always going to bring it back to love. I'm always going to bring it back to light. I'm always going to bring it back to unity consciousness. And I can see some brilliant questions are coming in. Aya is compiling them right now. She is the super moderator extraordinaire of super moderator. And we've got Anne helping out as well, who's always there. And I love you, Aya, and I love you, Anne. And we've got Bavik in my ears. I love you guys. So we've got the 2-2-2 dance. We get to dive in on the inside. Whether that's meditation. In fact, this is 2 steps you get to do tonight to help change the world. Michael's 2 steps to changing the world. Michael and the angels. And guys, this is from what I hear, 2 steps to changing the world. Step 1, very simple. Go quiet. You don't have to hold your hands up like this or in any mudra or anything. You know, nanu, it doesn't matter. But dive in on the inside, whether that's meditation, whether it's mindful running, mindful walking, swimming, hugging a tree, or simply sitting on a couch or chair. And following your breath. So what we need to do first is to give you an energetic shift, to give you a blast that goes far beyond a dopamine hit, that goes far beyond caffeine, that goes far beyond anything that can be fabricated. We need to plug you into a greater energetic field on a daily basis. That's why there are things like microdosing and things like that being made legal, is because we get to plug into spirit, and that's not the only way. We get to plug into spirit. Full disclaimer, I've tried ayahuasca. I haven't tried microdosing. The point being, we get to plug into spirit, and you can do it just by going silent. On a daily basis. I want to repeat that. On a daily basis for an important reason. Because everything I say today has to do with time. We get to start using time for ourselves rather than against ourselves. And yes, I mentioned there are dark forces using it against us, not evil. There's fear, there's greed, there's separation. They're scared too. We get to help them by coming into the love and coming into the light. Of course, they know how to use time, but now you will too. And you'll learn how to use it even better. You see, you're a mystic. You're an alchemist. You're an incredible catalyst for powerful, positive change once you learn how to use time. So we put our toes in the water each and every day. Brief aside, I didn't think I was going to go there. It's in the notes. It's kind of part of my channeling from this morning. And it says in the channeling, you do well in sports, Michael. Actually, it says, I do well in sports. And then it says, in fact, you could argue you do better in sports each and every year. I do. Relative to others. So I am on Team USA for swimming and cycling. Jessica says you like to say that a lot. I do. I'm very proud of it. It's taken me a long time to get here. I qualified for the World Championships this year. Hopefully I get to go to the World Championships in this coming year. I have done better and better and better and better and better and better, despite some pretty serious injuries, boo-boos, illnesses, and whatever we want to call it, because I recognize and understand the value of time. I understand that one thing builds on the next, builds on the next, and builds on the next. In other words, that things are not static, but ever changing and ever growing. I recognize when you understand time that you and me, we are all energy. And when you tap into energy on a daily basis, it changes everything. You tap into energy on a daily basis. Just as I'm saying, that's step number one. Tap into energy on a daily basis. And you will certainly be more supercharged than the greatest espresso, double espresso, cafe, Cuban, latte thingy, whatever. I'm naturally caffeinated. This is no judgment, but it's probably not a good idea to put me on caffeine. You can see why. You plug into source on a daily basis, not just once, not just on a retreat, not just on a weekend, not just in an extra long service, ceremony, or meditation. They're all helpful. In fact, I mentioned ayahuasca earlier. Having a life-changing ceremony, like an ayahuasca ceremony, like a dosing ceremony, particularly things that are guided by shaman and guided by indigenous wisdom, can be truly transformative and open you up to a completely new world to see yourself at a higher level. But we still want to touch into the energies that be on a daily basis, for that gives you your power. Now, not only that, but there are scientists who have shown now that when you plug in on a daily basis, what happens? You literally shift your DNA. It's called epigenetics. There's an entire field on it. And you can literally flip on the quote junk DNA, making you superhuman, quite literally. What happens? Well, you plug into this frequency, you plug into this field, and it's like going into a room where there's this most amazing sound bath going on. And in the sound bath, you're boom, and you start to vibrate with this sound. In fact, you don't just start to vibrate with it, you start to vibrate through it, or it starts to vibrate through you, and you begin to emit it. You become an emitter of pure goodness. That's what's happening when you dive in on a daily basis. You become an emitter, a transmitter, not just a receiver, a transmitter, like from the heart, Care Bear stare, like Hana Bear going, poof. How could you not feel that love on a daily basis? It's who and what you become. Now, here's the big question. Okay, I'm shifting my energy. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling more empowered, or I'm simply feeling more at peace. There are 1.2 thousand people here in the chat together right now. 1.2 thousand people. Can you imagine what the meditation is going to feel like at the end, where we all meditate on the same thing and all get into that resonant space together? How does it get any better than this? Okay. So the question becomes, I'm shifting my energy. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling more empowered, or I'm simply feeling more at peace. And I know this is one of Hana's favorite things to do. I got to say, she just learned, door handles over the last couple of days. So she closes the door, opens the door, closes the door, opens the door. I think that's her new favorite thing, because that's like freedom. But before that, her favorite thing was she'd pound on her chest and go, da, da. 14, 15, 16 months of age, and go, da. She understands her power. She understands the goodness. She understands the greatness. She understands how much she is a change maker, and that's inside of her, and it's inside of you. Da. You could do that with me. Da. Thank you, Hana Bear. I'm saying that there because she's going to sleep in theory right up above me in her bedroom. There's a power of goodness. There's a power of greatness that's inside of every one of us. And so you can ask, what do I do with this now? Everything. You do everything. But you do it with one, remember, Hana Bear went one concerted effort. Meaning, pick your cause, pick your charity. We've got the Red Cross here tonight. If you want to donate to help people in crisis worldwide, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Pick your cause, pick your charity, pick your meaning, pick what's most valuable to you. We get to choose or ask, what gets you off the couch the most? What am I most fired up about? What gives me that da moment? And then you got to go da and do it. Well, when this happens, I'll do it. When I have time, I'll do it. Life's too busy. Yeah. The powers that be count on life being too busy. In fact, go read the news, what I call the negative worthless stimulation. And believe me, I'm going through the article, the headings of each article right now to know what's going on. I'm not diving into the stories because I will lose myself in it. We'll all lose ourselves in it. They're counting on that to take your power away. You think they want you in power? Who's the you? You think that the powers that be, that the status quo want you to have your power? Because if so, then they don't have their power. This isn't about a power struggle. It isn't about an us versus them. I would like to take everyone who's in power and give them the biggest loving bear hug and say, hey, come on, let's go into that UN climate summit. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do to save this place for our kids, make this a better place. Let's see what we can do to save some animals today and to save some earthlings today. Come on, we can do this together. Love, 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 love. We get to get off the couch for what matters most to us and then go for that one thing, whatever it may be for you, whatever, with everything you've got. Now, full disclosure, and I'm sure this is going to change as right now we're the bottom of the states, but as we venture out more, now that we have such a healthy, happy baby girl, full disclosure, I have only attended one rally in my life. Now, I guess you could say two. I was invited to a Nobel Peace Prize Summit in Mexico a couple of years ago. I did go to that, and we can call that a rally for peace, certainly. So I guess you can say it was two, the Nobel Peace Prize Summit, and right before Gulf War II, I went to a pro-peace rally. I know, way back when I went to a pro-peace rally. How's that for dating myself? I didn't attend any anti-war rallies, or because what I know is, see, this also has to do with the powers that be, and let's rise above the powers that be, and let's be the powers of unity that be. How's that? What you fight against only creates more of the same. What you fight against only creates more of the same. I can't help thinking of Muhammad Ali. And I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover. Muhammad Ali and George Foreman. And I recently watched the George Foreman, I think it's called A Big Story, his documentary. Oh my God, I had no idea. He had a near-death experience. He quit boxing to focus on love and shifting humanity, only came back to boxing when he was wiped out financially and was trying to save a kids center. And he came back and he wouldn't fight anybody out of fear, out of anger, out of aggression, out of anything but honestly love. Only fight out of love. But now when he went up against, in his earlier years, he went up against Muhammad Ali. What happened? Muhammad Ali taunted him. It was the rumble in the jungle in the Congo. He taunted him. Come on, George, is that all you've got? Come on, hit me with everything you've got. Come on, hit me, 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 hit me. And for 7, almost 8 rounds, all Ali did, which is a lot, is take the world's strongest fighter, take all of his hits and block and block and block and block and block. And then I believe it was in the 8th round, George goes to pick up his arm and it's falling off of the shoulder. It's called the rope-a-dope. And Ali's like, thank you very much. Ding! Ah, I see that crown's now. I'll take that. That belt's now mine now. I'll take that. What you fight against will defeat you. It only creates more of the same, or it's that pesky adage in truism, what you resist persists. What you resist persists. Understand, and you get this out of the meditation. The more time that you spend in meditation, you get this. The more time you spend hugging a tree, doing mindful running, doing anything that takes you out of your thinking mind, helps you get this. You, I'm talking to you tonight. Yes, you, big hugs. You are the most powerful creator on the earth. You are. You're the most powerful creator on the earth. I love to bring in a lot of popular science and discoveries and things that we all learn and experiences and stories. And I read a story recently about, they say that it was an ant colony that had been long since abandoned, that they pumped, I think it was like 10 tons or 10,000 tons of cement into this ant colony, and found this ant colony, then dug away the dirt, the archaeologist did, and found an ant colony that would rival any modern city. It had aeration, it had filtration, it had disposable, it had recycling, you name it, it had it. In balance, in harmony. You see, the ants work together in balance and harmony with unity consciousness. Billions upon billions upon billions of ants work together with unity consciousness with one common goal. They weren't creating a colony that was against the earth, where they weren't creating a colony that was against each other. They weren't creating a colony that was against the elements or anything. What they were doing is learning how to be a part of something that was pure goodness and envisioning something even greater than themselves. That was their one thing. And they could literally visualize or see it in their mind's eye, which you can too. You read the news and you go, oh my God. But you can leap to the other side of it and you can envision, somebody just said divine sight. You can envision something greater. You can see it, you can feel it, you can create it in your mind. So when I say step forward, we get to march, we get to link arms, we get to come together as one, and we get to step forward for the beauty on the other side of what it is we don't want. Never march against anything. March for what you do want. March for greatness, not just goodness. March for magic. Call in exactly what you want, not what you don't want. And then speak at the top of your lungs, loudly or quietly, for exactly what you want. So yes, there is a dark side, and that dark side is called evil. I'm just going to say it's about separation and fear. And separation and fear win, put that in quotes, because it's all part of spirit, all part of this evolutionary process. But separation doesn't feel so good. Fear doesn't feel so good. Anxiety doesn't feel so good. And I see somebody putting a link here for the School of Mystics. Come join us on Wednesday for the School of Mystics. Oh my God, if you like what we're sharing here, let's help bring your vibration up, up, up to the next level. And this week's School of Mystics, we're doing a clearing. So I'm literally going to harness the power of the group to help remove energetic wounds and blocks and energy that's stuck inside of you, to help you become mightier than the mightiest of oaks. Why? Well, the mighty oak doesn't bend in the wind, it falls. I'm going to get you even lighter and more flexible while being stronger at the same time. So come join us Wednesday. Separation and fear win if we don't take a vacation from fear and if we don't understand time. So we get to put it out there from the heart, what we want from the heart. What do I want? What do I want to see? What do I want to be a part of? What do I want to be able to tell my kids, my grandkids, their great, great grandkids that I was a part of? We get to put it out there each and every day, louder and louder. I'm saying it quietly because Hannah Bear is supposed to be going to sleep, although I heard she's still awake. And louder still each and every day, until we're heard, not just taken seriously, but until we actually shift and make a difference. So if we look at the tides, like South Africa today, and there's somebody here from South Africa, the tides have been rising and rising very gradually. Well, in South Africa today, they had tsunami-sized waves coming in from a hurricane. I believe that was like 6,000 miles away. But because the oceans are getting higher and higher because the tides are rising, those waves started to make it right into town. Waves start slowly at first and then get ahead of steam. They get a momentum to it. We get to do that too. We get to understand time and become an unstoppable force of goodness and positive change. It doesn't. Please understand this. I'm not saying that you have to change your whole world tonight. I'm not saying that we have to change the whole planet tonight. Not at all. The powers that be, they can rush and they can panic and they can do what they want. but we're going to think long term. We're going to think over time. We're going to plug in. We're going to remain positive. Understand that positivity is a massive energy, is a massive. If you want to talk about 0 point energy, it's all about staying in that positive field. That's the greatest energy of anywhere. Look at any plant. Look at any fungi. Look at any great creation, large or small. There's not a single rose out there that was created out of anger, out of fear, out of spite, out of malice, out of anything but, look at the sun. Do this with me. That's the creative force of the universe. We get to plug into that and speak our truth each and every day. For speaking your truth is you as the creator, is you as the manifester, as you as the God image, whatever we want to call that, or what Paul said, Paul's guides will say on Thursday, is the monad, is the Christ consciousness. We get to plug in and speak our truth at the highest level, creating with our voice, creating with our mind, creating with our frequency, and creating with time as repetition. Time as repetition means as the drummer of the band, because that's who and what you are. And I see the donations now coming in fast and furious. We've already got several $100s for the Red Cross. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? You are the creator. You are the manifester. You are the voice of massive positive change, and you will create a brand new earth. And since we're talking about the 11th hour, since we're talking about needing to do it now, we need to start creating the brand new earth now. Why? It compounds. We can go, well, if only I had bought a Bitcoin when it was, or an Apple when it was, or a who knows what when it was, a Coca-Cola when it was, then I would be now. Now is the time to create a brand new earth by starting to take action now. So, do I think it's too late? No, not at all. Do I think we're at the brink? Absolutely, we're at the brink. Because time suggests if we don't make changes now, then 10, 20, 30, who knows how many years down the road, it could be a lot sooner than that. For instance, climate change. I'm a geek on this stuff. Forgive me. Well, actually, it's important. We should all geek out on something, anything, whatever works for us. But what happens is, in a vacuum, we talk about one thing going on with the climate. In a vacuum, we talk about another thing. In a vacuum, we talk about another thing. But we haven't put it all together and realized that it compounds and it changed much more quickly than we realized, which is why we've actually passed the numbers for the Paris Accord for this year, which nobody expected for like till 2050 or beyond. Hello, it's here. It's now because of compounding. So we are at the brink? Yes, if we don't act upon it now. But we can act upon it now. Do I think our backs are against the wall? Absolutely. Is it a bad thing? No. I don't know about you, but I don't take much action if I'm sitting on the couch. I take tremendous action if my back is against the wall. If I need to do something now, if I need to do something for Hannah Bear, if I need to do something for my family, if I need to do something for, guys, there are people saying this, don't donate to this organization, don't donate to that organization. I want you to donate where your heart feels called. That's where I want you to donate, where your heart feels called. But I want you to focus only on the positive energy. That's what you get to do. Focus on the positive energy. And so when you feel your back is against the wall, I want you, and I'm going to go back to Red Cross for a second because I've seen them help people. And I'm not saying cabal this, cabal that. I want you to focus on what you have tangible outcome when you feel in and lean into. Let's do that. Let's feel in and lean into. And I love everybody here tonight. I love you. 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 So when your back is against the wall, then you go, I must take action. and you say, what's that one thing I can do to help me become a powerful, positive change maker for the world? What can I do to be a resonant frequency and transmitter of pure goodness and pure greatness? If you do this, you change the world for yourself, for your kids, for their grandkids, and they're depending on this. And we, like those ants, are depending on each other. For together, we can do this as one. Not against anyone, not against anything, but we come together for a brighter future. So whether that's disclosing UAPs, whether that's disclosing who is hiding the money and not getting the money where it's supposed to be, whether it's about free energy, whether it's about shifting the planet, whether it's about authoritarianism, whether it's about true heaven and equality here on earth, there's so many great things we can do. You can do this. You can do this. You can do this. I know you can, or something even better. Last note. And it's frequent that I say last note, but I believe it will be the last note. Last note. Use the tools that have been used against us for goodness. Use the tools that have been used against us for goodness. What do I mean by that? Well, specifically, social media. Typically, it's a tool of disempowerment. Doesn't have to be. I've seen it do a lot of good. However, we can focus on it on a tool of massive positive goodness, using it to spread positivity. Because right now there's what was the turd I heard from a CIA person who wrote a book recently on this? We are in the info something age, infopedic age, infomedic age. Oh, the term is escaping me right now. We are in an age we are drowning in false information. And it's becoming harder and harder to discern the truth. And that's one thing. I'm going to get guests on the show to help us discern the truth, to discern what's true, what's not. So we do know where to donate. So we do know what is safe. So we do know where we can lean into. So we can use social media for goodness. We can use social media to go against all of this negativity, to spread positivity, to spread goodness, and to come together as one. Yes, you can share this show. I'd love it if you do that. You can thumbs up the show. I'd love it if you do it. I'd love you to share it out to the world. But share on top of that your positivity, your light, your hopefulness, your mission. Don't be afraid. Well, what about the trolls? What about the people who say this? What about the people who say that? I'm going to go back to Dr. Wayne Dyer. I mentioned him in the last class. I mentioned him in the last YouTube Live. Other people's opinions are none of your business. Other people's opinions are none of your business. All we can do and all we control is go to a place of love and light. All we can do and all we control is going to a place of love and light for a higher good. The news, that creates derision, it creates division. Instead, use these tools on the web to bring ourselves together. And I believe I will end with this and go to questions. And I hear some very powerful stuff coming through in the chat here. So love them or not love them, it's okay. JFK once said, ask what your country can do, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. I'd say modify it to say, ask not what I can do for me, but what we can do for one another, or what we can do for each other. Ask not what I can do for me, but what we can do for one another. That's what truly changes everything, and not someday in the future, and not never, never land, but now, today, in this moment. What can each of us do for one another? And how does it get any better than this? Woo-hoo. So I send love, I send love, I send love. I am in there with you in the trenches. We do have an amazing show with Paul Selig this Thursday on Maui, on what's going on a channeling that's beyond anything I've perhaps ever heard before. Highly, highly recommend it. This Thursday. You can actually click on the link now so they can get the reminder of it. And let us go to questions here. And I'm reaching out for my what? Whoa, there's an ultra close up. Hi, everybody. And then we're going to go to Dajbek. Hi. Do you ever pray so hard to angels, archangels, God, perform Reiki, and still can't help your dog? Been for days. Always hear pray, then hear and help, but still my dog is dying. Dashback, I get it. I feel you. Um, if you're not new to the show, or either way, you know that my dearest best friend in the world, Rue, the Run the Rooster is his name. He passed a month and a half ago. So I feel you, Dashback, and I could do all the praying, all the energy work, all the everything, and he still transitioned. Um, there's a lot to be said for timing that's out of our control, for life paths that are out of our control, and for things going on for our highest good and for the highest good of our feline, our poultry, and our canine companions that we have absolutely no control over. We can control our energy, we can control our love. So whether it helps your dog to heal, and I know this, forgive me, Dodgeback, isn't what you want to hear, but whether it helps your dog to heal, or whether it simply helps your dog to transition in the most beautiful way possible, I can't say. But there is meaning behind prayer. There is meaning behind the energy, and all of it, all of it, all of it matters. And so, Dashback, you don't have to force it. I know it is not that. You don't have to do it continuously. I know you will anyway. But understand what's most important, Dashback, is the love behind it. And yes, if there is the opportunity, you help your dog with everything under the kitchen sink or in the kitchen sink and then some. And you simply allow from that place of love. So I send all my love your way, Dash. All my love. And to your, especially to your dog as well. And from there, interesting, the name of the next person in question, horseplay. I really want to know why we keep hearing about a transformation since Chiron in the 80s, with nothing having happened. Horseplay, how I see it, is very much a compounding situation. It has been changing, and we're entering, if we want to go, and I'm not the best in astronomy and astrology, but if we want to go back, we're talking about we have entered the age of Aquarius, which is a 2 or 2,400 year process of transformation and change. It's not going to take us that long to really get to the next place here. However, the shift is not just about a year or two. It's something that compounds on itself and compounds to where in the 80s, we're going, where's the big shift? Or I can remember Y2K when I was in business school. No planes falling out of the sky. I don't see a big shift going on. And then all of a sudden things were going nuts or going crazy. Or we can go back to the 80s and we can go to the wall came tumbling down. It took time, but massive shifts were taking place. And they're even more massive now. What's happening now is time is compressing, where in the 80s, maybe you had one big shift and then years in between, and another big event and years in between. And then it became one big event and a year, one big event and 6 months, one big event and a month, one big event. And what do we had just on Earth with Canadian wildfires and Maui and Libya and Greece and Morocco, and all just in the last few weeks alone. And it's coming one after next, after next, and after next, and next. That's the power of time. And that's what we get to understand at this point. So lots of love horseplay from Denise. It has been said that we are going back and forth into the fifth dimension. Yes. When that happens, does it change the way we feel in our bodies? Yes. One person said they felt lighter when it happened. So, Denise, the best way to describe this right now is we're in an electron pump. And the electron pump goes positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, and powers the computer and powers some of our electric cars or TVs or whatever. That electric pump vacillating back and forth. We are vacillating back and forth as well, going between third dimension, fifth dimension, third dimension, fifth dimension. What's the fifth dimension? Fifth dimension is where we understand time and space differently because we're no longer as bound to just this three-dimensional space, which if we go to Einstein, we can't actually be bound because we got time and space into the equation anyway. However, Fifth dimension is where we recognize, we can call it our divinity, or we can call it our energetic body and our energetic selves. You go into the fifth dimension, hello, every single time you meditate. You ain't here anymore. You're here, but you're not. And so when I talk about getting in a resonant frequency, Denise, when I talk about kind of scooping up and bringing back from the other side, bringing back from a meditation, bringing back from the stillness, what I'm really talking about is, Denise, we are each and every one of us a tuning fork. When we spend all of our time in a three-dimensional world, we kind of a very fear and anxiety based, disease based tuning fork based on what's going on in the world around us. When we spend time in meditation or the silence or the breath or a singing bowl or glorious music, I mean, music just makes your heart sing. That's fifth dimensional as well. We become a tuning fork. We're always a tuning fork. We bring that back. And yes, you feel lighter, you feel changed, you feel shifted. And that's when, as I'm talking about today with the two-step dance, you go into that fifth dimension, you bring that energetic frequency back with you. Now you're completely unstoppable. That's where we get to play, Denise. And the great thing is, the more time that we spend there, the easier it is to bring it back. And as human beings, or as human cells in this human beingness, we're all part of this one human being. More and more of us are bathing in that energy. More and more of us are bathing in that space. And more of us are bringing that energy back. And how does it get any better than this? All right. So let's go from Denise to Tiffany. How does time play into healing the body? It's an excellent question, Tiffany, because we can look at it two ways. One, we may have the ability to play in the fifth dimension where there is not time and heal ourselves instantly. Two, we may simply bring that energy back, and one thing compounds on the next, compounds on the next, and compounds on the next until we find we have come so far from where the healing crisis began that we don't even know when the healing crisis began and when we became totally healthy. What does this mean? It means time is on your side, Tiffany. Up until the last breath, time is on your side. And anyone who tells you otherwise is unfortunately setting you up to play and bathe in fear, worry, and anxiety. So when it comes to healing, we can visualize, we can take it in, we can spend time in that fifth dimension. I highly recommend it. And then when we bring it all back here, we relax into it and allow. It's the best thing we can do is allow. So I've been, quote, sick for about 3 weeks now. And I'm doing really well, but it's on again, off again. I can fight it, in which case it's going to stick around for the long run. It's going to go, no, da, 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 and it's going to really fuse itself to me. Or I can let go at the highest level and watch it melt and go away. And just watch, it will melt and go away. Now, does that mean that if we don't know how to heal, that something's wrong with us, that we're not very spiritual, that blah, blah? No. It's all in one weird, wacky, beautiful, crazy sense, as it should be. And at the same time, we do everything we can to shift it to a higher level or something even better. All right. Stardust 29. How can we move beyond time and become more powerful and empowered? How does one go beyond the time construct? Stardust 29, bathe outside of time. I'm not talking about running around naked. What I am talking about is spend time in non-time. Spend time in activities where you lose your sense of time. Spend time meditating where you don't have a watch on, or you can set an alarm for God knows who know when and sit there for as long as you'd want, or spend time just focused on the breath, or spend time holding a baby, preferably a baby that you love. any activity where you lose a sense of time, you're shifting from that third dimension to the fifth dimension. Could be painting, could be dancing. As weird as it sounds, for me, it can be on my bike, swimming, or running, going as fast as I can, and not like fast down a hill in this, wild, outrageous, out of control, but just putting myself in this zone, in this state where time simply melts away. The more that you do this, the easier it is for you to become powerful and empowered, to use your terms, because you're plugging into a higher level vibration. And that's what we've been talking about all evening here today. Okay, thank you, starters. Brilliant question. From Information Gatherer, do you recommend a cell regression meditation then to go back before trauma, trying to avoid surgery? So, and maybe this is literally back surgery, for instance. You can. I'm having an internal discussion, or a discussion like this, about how I explain this. We can certainly remove traumas, and removing trauma oftentimes eliminates the need for surgery. We can certainly go back and live in the state that we're in before the accident, before the illness, and that can often eliminate surgery. The best approach here, Information Gatherer, and you're right, trauma means energy, stuck energy in the body, is to do whatever you can to eliminate or remove the stuck energy. That's why once a month in our School of Mystics, for instance, this Wednesday in particular, your lucky Wednesday, it's coming up, we do a clearing to help remove that stuck energy. And there's so many more modalities that you can use as well. Mine is very, very powerful, but throw the kitchen sink at it. Don't just stop at one. Do whatever you can to go back before the trauma and remove the energy behind it. And then focus on that energetic state of what it feels like after you're fully healed or whole again. That's where you get to play. Will it always eliminate the need for surgery? No. I had hernia surgery a year and a half ago and had been doing just this. Could I have potentially avoided it? Yes. Did I choose to do it? Well, you could see the innards kind of sticking out. And I felt, I've been giving this a good go, but for my family, I'm going for it. And I'm very happy that I did. But there's so much energetically, Information Gatherer, that you can play with, that if you want, if it's not a risk for you, if it's not a risk for your family, and I'm not a doctor, I don't play one on TV, certainly don't play one on YouTube, but why not play with it for a little while? If you got nothing to lose, well, you're dangerous in the best way. Go for it, go for it, go for it, and let's see where you get. Ms. Enlightened One, do you suggest meditating before automatic writing? Always, absolutely. In fact, I teach a live class on automatic writing. It'll be a week from this Thursday, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. It's recorded in case you're working and can't make it, or in another part of the world. But I would always start with a meditation or a quieting the mind exercise. I know I've been speaking like a squirrel here. If squirrels could speak. So that we get into that fifth dimension space. But you don't have to be a great meditator to hear from spirit, to hear from source, to go into automatic writing. You simply get to be able to be. And when you be, you start to vibrate at that different frequency where the universe can chase you down. From Amanda Simpson, feeling the call right now to recognize our oneness. Yes. How can we keep that mindset when dealing with individuals whose intentions are not of the highest good? Ooh, it's hard to relate when it makes no sense. So, Amanda, all right, we are all one. Every single one of us, even somebody who has the button on missiles or this or that, we're still all one. We may not understand it at all. We may not agree with it at all. And it definitely can appear to me the most awful thing in the world. Couldn't agree with you more. However, judging is where we get into trouble. Why? because things are happening at a higher level that we don't understand. Does that mean that child trafficking? No. Does that mean that a war? No. Does that mean that? No. But we don't have the total picture. The only total picture that we have, as best as we can do, is three-dimensional beings having a fifth dimensional experience, or actually a ninth dimensional, infinite beings being stuffed into this human suit. All we can know is that it's all love. Period. Check in with yourself. It's all love. And then we get to practice from that place. That's the hardest thing and the best thing to practice, Amanda. So people aren't doing things that you want them to do, or they're doing things that make absolutely no sense. Send them love from a distance. Now, notice, I haven't been talking about dealing with them. If people are doing things that are insane, do your best to walk or run the other way. If people are doing things that are insane, do your best to walk or run the other way. Don't deal with them unless you absolutely have to. In which case, you set your boundaries, come from love, get out of there as fast as you can. At no point when I say send love, send love, send love, am I saying do a dance with a narcissist. At no point am I saying give your power away to authoritarianism. No. I'm saying, how can we approach this from love? How can we approach this from a higher level? How can we approach this from standing forward in our truth? That's what we get to do. All right. And let's go to Michelle, and we'll take a few more questions and go into a meditation here. And from Michelle, I have close, too young for this, family members whose health seems to be crumbling. What can I do to help? Everything, Michelle. Go to a place of love, go to energy healing, go to everyone you can think of. Do it out of love rather than out of panic. But pull, Michelle, on every string that you can to help if they're open for that assistance. From Soul Bird's Nest. How do we understand time? Oh, and there have been so many beautiful donations to the Red Cross. I've got $20 anonymous donated, 25, 20 pounds, 25, 20, 20. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Georgia. Oh my gosh, Georgia donated $100 to the Red Cross. How does it get any better than this? Thank you. And Audie Robb donated as well. Thank you, everybody, for your kind donations. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Soulbird, how do we understand time? Soulbird, forgive me. What comes up is a bird catching a worm, probably because you've got Soulbird's Nest. The bird ain't thinking about time. It's grabbing at the worm. It's going to take it, send love to the worm. It's going to take it lovingly to its family. It's going to feed it to its family. And then it's going to go find the next worm. It's not going to check in on its bird watch, but it's going to find the next worm, and it's going to pick that up and go take that lovingly to the family. And it's going to find the next one. And it's going to find the next one. What does this mean? It means we've been sold a bill of goods that says we can't make a difference because what's one worm matter? Well, to that little baby bird, everything. And that little baby bird is going to grow up incredibly strong if we don't give up and understand one worm after the next makes a massive difference. Part of the big disempowerment that we're experiencing here is thinking that one thing doesn't matter. One can in recycling doesn't matter. And I won't even get started on that. I get it. One kind act doesn't matter. One worm saved or to a rooster doesn't matter. To understand time, we get to understand that it all matters. Every moment you spend with a baby bird matters. Every moment I spend with Hannah Bear matters. Every moment I spend with you matters. Every moment I spent focused on that one thing, whatever that one thing is for you, soul bird. Every moment you focus on that one thing, it matters and matters tremendously. You've got this. You can do this. You can play with time. And the best and first way to play with time is, forgive me, I know of no other way to do this, and this is going to look real awkward on camera. I want you to take time, Soulbird, out of time, also known as a timeout. I want you to take a timeout to bathe in non-time, and you come back to this time. And the more time that you spend in non-time, the more time that you come back to this time in vibration, in appreciation, and vibrating at an even higher level. We've got, looks like 2 last questions here. And somebody donated Canadian $50 to the American Red Cross. And I was looking for an international group tonight, and I'm going to keep looking till I find the one group that I feel resonates with everybody the best, and we can make the biggest difference on the whole planet. I don't want to just donate to a group that's just helping here or just helping there. I want to help everyone. I want to help everywhere. And I'm even looking, especially been looking tonight for a kids organization worldwide. And I'm going to keep looking because there's only certain organizations through YouTube that have been vetted that you can donate to. And so I will look for that best organization. Right now it's Red Cross. And thank you so much for your donations. And thank you for your 50 Canadian dollar donation. How does it get any better than this? Mary, what a dovetail. I sent lots and lots of love, Mary. Lots and lots of love. I hope you can feel my hug. Went to a beloved friend's funeral today. Should we not live like we are running out of time every day? Mary, we should live like we're here for an eternity and like we're here for a moment. So live here for an eternity. If there's an eternity, we are going to do our best to stay in the most beautiful, loving, kind, and gentle, and awesome, wondrous place. Not because each second is not precious, but because there's no fear, there's no worry, there's no anxiety, there's nothing, there's no time running out where you have to chase or do. And like you said, we get to live like this is the only precious moment we have. And it is like sands of time all falling through the hourglass. It is almost gone, almost through our fingertips. It is drifting out. And so we want to make every moment count. This is that positive negative pump that I talk about that's helping humanity and helping everything and everyone spiral upwards. It's that we can call it a duality. We can call it, I like pump. We can call it the flip side of the coin. But if we understand eternity, 5th dimension, and we understand scarcity, 3rd dimension, and use those 2 together, Mary, then you spend every second with your beloved out of precious, loving, centered time rather than a, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, which is what we've been trained and entrained into today, Mary. And I love you so much. And I just want to give you another hug, and a hug that is, wow, isn't this precious? And I have time. So much love, Mary. So much love. All right. From Anna. Hi. Do the things we eat affect our meditation, connection with our guides, higher spirit, etc.? Yes and no. Yes. If you're taking things that make you feel terrible, it's hard to feel good during a meditation. If you're taking things that are making you feel so spun and so, it becomes hard to meditate as well. If you're taking things that knock you out of your body or leave you in a depressed state, or out of different drugs and alcohol and things like that. And I don't pick on anything, and I don't pick on anyone, but things that take you out of your centered place, yeah, it becomes harder. And at the same time, we can still connect no matter what, no matter where we are. And there's been more than one individual on this planet who has been completely inebriated or out of their minds, and all of a sudden here's God, whatever that means to them, and completely change their life in a moment. So it can be done. However, I would certainly live by the adage, if you can, giggle. Programmer's term, garbage in, garbage out. The more you can get on a healthier diet for you, whatever that means, Anna, for your body is your temple. the healthier it can, the easier it may be to hear. And at the same time, so many amazing channels and mediums are what we call wounded healers. They are struggling so badly, and they may not be eating the healthfulest, if that's a word, healthful possible, and they're still able to hear from the other side. So yeah, we do what we can here, and we just love ourselves up. This is the most important thing we can eat. We love ourselves up with everything we've got, and that makes it easiest to connect. And yes, Nikki, I am you could say do I want to define myself? No, I guess I am a whole food vegan, but I just love everyone for everything, wherever you're at. It doesn't matter. I love you. I love you. I love you. And we can connect no matter where we're at as well. All right. So I want to see if there are any more anything that my team wants me to mention. We've got Paul Selig's show on Thursday. Absolutely gonna want to catch that channeling. We have an incredible class, an amazing clearing this Wednesday. It's like a double negative. I can't recommend it enough. It's a strange way to say it. However, you've got energetic blocks or wounds or stuck energy inside of you, fear, worry, and anxiety, trauma, things that get to be cleared. Bring it to this Wednesday's class. We'll put the link down here. We'll put a coupon code here to make it super easy to join. It's 4 Wednesdays a month. It's recorded in case you can't make it. And you get a wealth, a library of all of our classes. If you like this, it takes it to a whole new level. Plus, there's the power of the group. But we will be doing a massive, amazing clearing come Wednesday. I'd say you love it. Love isn't quite the right word. I can let everybody who's been to one of our clearings go here. By love it, it sets you free, and you feel so much better afterwards. So I'll leave it at that. So we've got class Wednesday. We've got Paul Selig on Thursday. Yeah, of course, we have our automatic writing class next Thursday as well. I think that's a good amount to start with. Let us then see if there's any last things. If not, I'm going to take a sip of water. Thank you, everybody, for your kind donations. How does it get any better than this? And then we will go into a brief meditation, and then I'm going to go get some rest and lots of it. And if you've been going through anything that you need healing with as well, I highly recommend you plug into the 5th dimension as well by getting lots and lots and lots of rest. All right. Thank you for being here. Understand there's an energy. It's a channel talk, and I'm also channeling while I do this, which means there's an energy that you're feeling right now. And that energy didn't come from me, didn't start with me. Didn't come from you, didn't start with you, but it's an energetic field that will have a palpable shift, not just on this evening for you, but on the next day ahead and the next weeks ahead. So thank you for joining me here. And thank you for being a part of this brilliant, beautiful, we can call it, it's the theme tonight, 5th dimensional shift. All right. So let's close our eyes. Take a nice, slow, deep breath in through the nose, down to the belly, and out through the nose. In and out. In and out. One more time. In and out. Now, as we keep breathing in and out, nice and gentle together, I want us to all come together as one. Unity consciousness is truly where the party is at. So imagine us making one giant, beautiful circle together. We reach out hands, connect with someone to our right. We connect with someone to our left. We breathe in as we lean to the right, out to the left, in and out, in and out. Now, as we keep breathing in and out together, something funny is beginning to happen. Maybe your fingertips feel buzzily, or the hairs on the back of your neck, or you just kind of feel this buzzing, tingling, and lightness coming over your entire body. That's this energy. That's this frequency. That's what we can call the fifth dimension, because you feel it bringing you up, 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 higher and higher and higher still. In fact, if you look down for your mind's eye, you may notice that suddenly you've started floating. You're up above your body. You're up above your house. You're up above your town. You're up above the clouds. You are so incredible light, and you're floating, and you feel free, and you feel so good, and you can fly. Together as one, you can fly. So while you're unexpectedly up here, and don't worry, you don't have to fasten your seatbelt. You're floating high now. From up here, though, you can look down on the earth. You can look at a person that needs healing, see them healed. You can look at a country that's gone through a devastation and see them rebuilt. You can look at a planet that needs to come into balance and see her healed. From at this higher dimension, from this higher fifth dimensional space, you can look down at anything with your mind's eye and see it made perfect, made whole, and made anew, restored to its greatness at an even higher level. So tonight is about that one thing. What's that one thing on your heart? What's that one person, place, thing, anything that you want to see healed at the highest level? Let's take just a minute. Focus on seeing it. Focus on feeling it. Focus on a knowing that a powerful shift has taken place. So let's do that as you continue to breathe in and out together as one. 1 minute beginning right now. See it, feel it, know it, and breathe. As you do this, you might start to feel yourself more empowered and more empowered and more empowered still. And you can feel this by feeling lighter and lighter and lighter. If you do, what I'd like you to do is with each breath, focus on sending love. Send love to a person, to a place, to a country, to a situation. Breathe in and out and send love. In and out and send love. So I like to practice. Breathe in light. Send out love. Breathe in light. Send out love. breathe in light and send out love. Realize you can do this anytime, any place. You can look up with your eyes closed and see the sun above you. You can look up with your eyes closed in bed and see the magnificent, brilliant light of the universe beaming through the darkness. And you can breathe in all that light in the world and send out love. And breathe in even more of it and send out love. You can do this at a traffic light. You can do this in the office. You can do this on the phone with customer support. Breathe in light and send out love, which is in essence, going to the fifth dimension, getting in harmony and resonance, and beaming that out back in this third dimensional world where we need it the most. You take it in, you send it out. You take it in, you send it out, and you take it in and send it out, helping to change everyone and everything everywhere. And as we come back down to earth, energized, on fire, filled with love and light, thank you, thank you, thank you. And how does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? Woohoo! And thank you to the anonymous donation to the American Red Cross. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? It's all energy. We do what we can with what we have, with where we're at. Thank you, Arthur Ashe. And that is more than enough. So I send so much love. I can't wait to see you in the School of Mystics Wednesday. If you're looking for the most powerful clearing ever, oh, that might be a stretch. One heck of a powerful clearing. Come join us Wednesday. And of course, for Paul Selig's amazing channeling, an amazing show from the guides this Thursday. And you'll see a link here for that as well. Lots of love to everyone. And thank you so much for your kind words, for your kind actions, for your kind deeds, and for your kind energy. Together as one, we will shift and change this place. Changed by that, I mean, we will birth this place anew at an even higher level. Woo-hoo. All right. Night, everybody. Thank you, Dream Team. Thank you, Aya. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Babak. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you to everybody on our Dream Team. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, everyone. And thank you. Lots of love. Out of all the channeling you've ever done, Paul, that was the most profound.
Now, when people are moved, a country is moved. A country is moved when there is rubble. When there is rubble, you are having an experience reflected through the collective, a manifestation of manifestation. Humanity is in time of great shift. Humanity is a time of great shift.
Every day there's a new horizon. Birds keep on singing, earth keeps on spinning. Time to toss any fears that rule you. Dance to vibrations, no limitation.